Hello class, welcome to lesson 1. This is convert units of length. So your objective is, I can convert one unit to another by using ratio reasoning. So our first and only vocab word is conversion factor. That's too big. Is conversion factor, which is a rate. Remember, a rate is a ratio that compares numbers of different units. So like miles per gallon to dollars, like how much it costs to fill up and how many miles you'll go. Those are different units. So conversion factor is a rate in which the two quantities are equal but use different units. So for our two different types of unit lengths, there's the customary unit length, which is what we use in the USA and very small amount of other countries in the world. The rest of the world uses the metric system. So we'll focus on this first one, the customary units of length that we use in America. And when we look at it, the definition says two quantities are equal but use different units. And that's an example here because 1 foot is equal to 12 inches because if you have a ruler, it has 12 inches in it and that's 1 foot. And 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. So if I have 3 rulers and I lay them down, that's 1 yard. And that's because it's 36 inches. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. And 1 mile is equal to 1,760 yards. And those can all be written as ratios. So we'll get back to how we write that as a ratio. And then the metric system is much easier because it's just units of 10. And we will come back to the metric system in our examples, and I'll give you guys a hack for that. Right now we're going to move on to writing our customary as a unit, as a ratio, I mean. So, for example, we could write 1 foot to 12 inches. That's a ratio, right? But what's the better way we've been writing our ratios? That's a fraction. 1 foot to 12 inches. So we're going to be using that information. So this can be written as a ratio. That information, all of these can be written as a ratio. I recommend writing this chart down and this down. We'll come back to writing this a special fun way later in the chapter, but this should be written down in your notes now. All right, let's do our unlock the problem. So we need to convert 33 to yards. 33 what? 33 feet to yards. So let's start by looking at what we have. So we have 33 feet and we're finding yards. So let's look at our conversion chart. And we can see here which one of these would work best. Well, here it says 1 yard is to 3 feet, so this is going to help us. So I'm going to take that and make a ratio out of it. And we're finding yards. So what we're finding, that ratio is going to be on the top. So it's 1 yard over 3 feet. Because the yard is what's being found, so it's at the numerator. And I'm going to multiply what we're looking for, which is 33 feet. And remember, when we're multiplying a whole number to fractions, we have the invisible one. So if I rewrite this, I have 33 feet over the invisible one times 1 yard over 3 feet. And I cannot multiply 33 feet to 1 yard. Why not? because they have different units. It's like mixing oil and water. You can't multiply them or do anything with each other until they have the same unit or they've canceled out. But here I can see 33 feet can cancel out with 3 feet. So now I just have 33 and 3. So I can multiply across now. So 33 times 1 is 33 yards now, over 1 times 3 is 3. And it's not 3 feet because this feet was canceled out along with this one. Now I can simplify, and I know 3 can go into both of these, which give us 11 yards over 1, which is just 11 yards. And that is our final answer. All right, step 1 is to use the conversion chart and set up a ratio with the unit being found in the numerator. So let's highlight that. So we're going to set up a ratio with the unit being found in the numerator. So let's use example 33, 33 feet to yards. So using the conversion chart up here, which I recommended you writing down, let's rewrite this in our steps. So in this problem, we're going from feet to yards. So we need to use, we would use this conversion. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. And the unit being found is the yards, because we have 33 feet. So we have the feet, so that's going to go at the bottom. We're finding the yards, so that's in the numerator. So 1 yard is 3 feet. So this is the number being found, not the number, the unit being found. All right, step 2 is to multiply the unit being converted by the ratio. So multiply the unit being, the unit being converted is 33 feet because we're converting it from feet to yards. So we need to multiply that by the ratio from our previous step. So we have 33 feet, don't forget your feet, is equal, no, it's not equal to, we're multiplying it by 1 yard over 3 feet. Before we can do that, we need to cancel out what we have in common. So feet and feet can cancel out here. So when we multiply, it's 33 over 1 because of the invisible 1. And now we have 1 yard over 3. And we can multiply straight across. It would give us 33 yards over 3. Now we need to, step 3 is to simplify. So 33 yards over 3. And 3 can go into both of these, so I can simplify this way, which would give me 11 yards over 1, which would give me just 11 yards. Or you can just do 33 and then it would be 11 yards because we have to add our units at the end. So this is for the steps for the customary units of length. And you can also use this for the metric system, but I'm going to teach you a hack when it comes to that, okay? So let's move on to some examples and practice this. So in this problem, for example, when we're converting 9 yards to inches, so we're going from yards to inches. So let's go look at our chart. In fact, let's rewrite it. All right, here's my chart. And I need to use a ratio that has yards and inches in it. So here I have 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. So that's the ratio I'll be using. And I'm given yards and I'm finding inches. So inches will be at the top, yards will be at the bottom. And it's 1 yard to 36 inches. So I'm going to rewrite this as 36 inches over 1 yard. And we're multiplying it by the number given. So here's what we're finding, because we're finding inches. And 9 is what we're given, 9 yards. To multiply that by 9 yards. And the yards cancel out. So now I have 9 over the invisible 1 times 36 over 1. Inches. I forgot my inches symbol here. So it's 324 inches. All right, so this is example 2. And you're going from decimeter to hectometer. So this is different because we're using the metric system instead of our customary system. So you can do this, there is a conversion rate we could do where it would say 1 kilometer is equal to 10 hectometers and 1 kilometer is to 100 decameters and so on and so forth. But instead, here is our hack. This is our hack. So you just need to have this table. And we're going from 43 dm, which is all of these, see it's kilo, hecto, deca, and then we just have meter in the middle. That's our base. So this is where everything starts. And then you add meter to the end of all of these. So decimeter, centimeter, millimeter, decameter, hectometer, kilometer. So if we're going from 8 dm, which is decimeter, we would start here at deci. And this represents our decimal, right? This is our decimal. And we want to go to hecto. Oh, I forgot the C in hecto. Let's add that. So then, if I'm going from decimeter to hectometer, I would go 1, 2, 3. And I'm jumping to the left. So my number is getting smaller because I'm dividing by 10. Each jump is a division by 10. So it's 1, 2, 3. Now my decimal is here. I just add a 0. So my final answer would be 0.043 hm for hectometers. So that's why it's important to write down this chart so you don't have to memorize that it's kilos, then hecto, then decameter. You can just look back at this chart and know how many times you need to jump. That's all you need to do. So if we were going from, let's do another example. All right, so if we were going from 7,500 millimeter, that is equal to how many decameters? So let's copy again our chart down. So here's the chart, and I'm going from millimeter to decimeter. So here's millimeter, here's decimeter. So I'm moving 1, 2 place values to the left. Oops. 1, 2. Boop. So it would be 7,500. My decimal is here, moves 1, 2 to the left. So my answer is 75 decimeters. All right, go ahead and get started on your homework, and I'll see you at your designated meeting time. Bye, guys.